This season marks the 50th birthday for the Eastern Michigan Gymnastics program. Today marks the home opener for Coach Katie Minnesota's crew as they look to go 2-0 in conference action, welcoming Northern Illinois and Brockport for the second annual Golden Girls Invitational. It is below freezing outside, but we expect the action to heat up inside. The second annual Golden Girls Classic is on the air. Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm Brett Balbinot, alongside our Southern Belle, who has migrated north for the weekend, former Eagles standout Anna Grace McCullough. Anna, the Eagles are 1-0 after winning their opener on the road at BG last week. They're home this week. Can you just talk about the benefit of sleeping in your own bed, staying in your own routine?
Yeah, I think the biggest benefit is these girls are used to this equipment. They know what to expect, so I think it's going to give them a real good advantage today.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the athletes we'll be keeping an eye on here this afternoon. Let's start with Northern Illinois and the Huskies' 5'4" sophomore all-arounder Drake White.
Yeah, Drake White is awesome. She's only a sophomore, and the fact that she's already an all-around is great. I'm super excited to see what she has in store today.
For the Golden Eagles, Leanna Kay is normally their all-arounder, but the coaching staff decided to give her a rest. She's only going with 2 events, bars and beam.
Yeah, Leanna, I'm super excited to see her beam. She got a beautiful triple series, and she hit it great last week. Hopefully she can do it again.
And for the Eagles, Kyrie Lowe, 5-foot senior, all-arounder. She won last week with a 38.775. What do you expect out of her today? Yeah,
Kyrie's always been a great all-around competitor. I'm excited to see her bars, her beautiful lines. Can't wait to see what she does today.
And we take a look at them side by side here to see how they stack up. Now again, Leanna Kay is not in the all-around today, but Drake White and Kyrie Lowe, and they look almost dead even on paper. What will make the difference this afternoon?
Yeah, it's really going to come down to these little deductions, like the landings, the knee bend, even a step out of bounds. That can make or break this all-around competition today.
There you get a good look from our camera on the upper deck here as the buzzer has sounded. What do we got? A week's worth of hype. It's going to focus down into about 2 hours of truth. It is the Golden Girls Invitational. Eastern Michigan trying to stay unbeaten in Mid-American Conference play. We also have Division III Brockport out of New York making the trip about a 6-hour drive. Coaching staff told me, and Dr. Renee Liss said they went via Canada. So they crossed the not the international line, but the boundary, and then came back. I'm not exactly sure if I-90 was under construction, but just the same, we've got 3 teams. Let's take a look at the lineups. There you see Brockport will start on the floor, Eastern on the vault, and NIU on the bars. Now for Brockport, this is Callie Sarsinski, who's about to start off, but Abby Brushwood, she's been the leader. She has really kind of been an anonymous voice in the chorus for this Eastern Michigan roster for the past season or 2, but she has really been asked to step up and do a lot. She will be in 3 different rotations today. As we take a look at Sarsinski, her first tumbling pass.
Yeah, there goes a great front layout front pull. That's a really nice opening pass. She stayed in bounds, nice and clean. Seems like a good start for Brockport here. Now she goes into her leap, switch side, Copa, or straddle full. Now she's going to take some time to breathe here. We're about to see Abby go on vault. She's going to do a front entry vault, which is something you don't see often. It does start from a 10.0. Here she goes, good run, good entry. Beautiful landing, slight little hop. That was a really good start for Eastern.
Strong, maybe no more than a 10th there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think probably 9-8. I mean, they tend to go a little bit harder on those first openers. But it was a really good hit, really good start. You know, it's all about building momentum here as you get down the lineups.
She was strong last week at BG with a 9.7 as we're seeing Sarsinski finish up her floor to the applause of her teammates.
Yeah, it looks like it was a great hit. Nice to run down, get some good high fives.
You can always hear the lady to my right's voice cascading above the rest of her teammates on the floor, always hooping it. Basically, you have a cheerleading section right alongside of the floor every time, don't you?
Oh, yeah. And these meets, they're so fun. There's so much energy here. It's really about who can be the loudest, who can bring the most energy, get your team hyped up.
And here we see a little bit of a pep talk for Alyssa Strain, young freshman who's going to be up next on the floor for Brockport. She's told she has a very unique floor exercise. As Northern Illinois still waiting to get the start on the bars. And of course, up next on the vault for Eastern, we've got Kyrie Lowe. Break her down for us. You know her a little bit.
Yeah, Kyrie has been in and out of this vault lineup, but she is doing your Chenko half. It's a blind landing, so she's not going to see where she is. She's really got to spot and look in front of her. Take a nice knee bend as she lands. She goes good block. Little step back, but that was a nice save there.
What's the key to that? Because when you've got a blind landing, you cannot see the floor. You're trusting your body or your muscle memory, aren't you?
Right, you're really trusting your gut, and there's some instances, once you get enough body awareness that you can kind of see the ground and really spot ahead of you.
So over to the bars for Northern Illinois. This is going to be Desiree Borkman.
Good routine so far, gearing up for her dismount, full in, and a little hop. That was really nice for NIU. They had a little delay here, but that was a great opening routine. Hopefully that'll get a good score to get this momentum building.
So it'll be very interesting. Preseason prognostications. Eastern Michigan in the Mid-American Conference was picked to finish third in a tie with Ball State. Northern Illinois didn't get a lot of love. They were finished to pack up the bottom. This is going to be their farewell meet here at the George Griffin Game Above Center, as well as they will no longer be members of the Mid-American Conference after this season. They will be joining the Mountain West.
Yeah, that's super interesting. And one thing I love about the MAC is it's super competitive. I mean, we've all got a pretty even competition base that we can all hopefully see some good competitive scores.
Here comes Gwen Gantu
on the vault. Yurchenko full here. Little hop. That was awesome for Gwen. You know, she struggled with a little bit of elbow injury, a little bit of hip, but she is working through it. That's an awesome vault for her.
5'2", and she's got a little hop in her step. She is pleased with herself.
Oh, yeah. Gwen's an awesome little ball of energy. She is always one that you can count on to be motivating and get you hyped up when you need it.
Motivating. There's that Southern belle in her. Back to the floor, and this is Alyssa Strain, the young freshman who the coaching staff told me is really hitting her stride.
Yeah, nice front layout, front full to open up. Just going to take her time, breathe, dance into her leaps. You know, when you look at those leaps, you really look at the foot position. Judges are looking to make sure they make it all the way around. Here we go on bars. Nice bail to handstand. She's gearing up for her dismount. Going to take a big breath here.
This is Elizabeth Ponson.
Good double layout. Good little hop. That's a nice second routine for NIU there.
The two in the books on the bars for the Huskies, as we're seeing Strain about to go into her final tumbling pass and back to the ball as Savannah Dunwoody.
Nice Yurchenko full, little step, but really good. They're looking strong here, building momentum. Good Rudy to finish out this routine on floor. Nice work.
Flair for the dramatic.
That was a good routine. Nice hit. And here, when you're coming into this new equipment, you really want to take this time, take the warm-up time to get used to the equipment. So they've had that time. Hopefully they're able to feel the bounce of the floor, because really every place you go is a little bit different.
When you say a little, are you talking how little or how much, for that matter? Some apparatus might be a little bit more giving or stiff at certain places.
Yes.
Around the MAC, I'm going to ask you to take us through a trip down memory lane. What were some of the toughest places on the road for you to compete?
Well, I think it's different. I think equipment is one thing, but I think the crowd is another thing. When a team has a really good student section and a really good crowd, sometimes it's hard to focus. I'll shout out Central Michigan. They have their fire up Chippewas, and it's a little distracting sometimes, but I think it works to their advantage. They're an awesome crowd, but I think they do get that home team advantage when they're there. But once again, it's just about bringing all the energy that you can to a meet.
This is Drake White on the bars, the all-arounder for the Huskies.
Nice Ginger. She's going to cast the handstand. Nice handstand.
Stayed at 90. Fantastic. Yep. She held that.
Wow,
oh, my goodness.
Good. Here we go on vault. Good Yurchenko full. That was beautiful.
Kendall Landry.
Yeah, blind full. Straight into a double tuck. Just a little short there.
You will not see that, ladies and gentlemen. That does not happen, and she was cruising through that routine, and hopefully she is all right.
A little bit.
Yep. Oh my goodness. So best wishes here to Drake White.
some of those things, it looked like she just peeled off the bar a little early. Let's take a look at that here. Good blind full. And then, yeah, it looks like her grip just slipped a little bit. And, you know, sometimes that just happens. There's nothing you can do to avoid it. It might have been the chalk. She might have been tired. There's a lot of different reasons why that happens.
So we'll go back to the floor. This is Claire Wood.
Here she goes, gearing up for her first pass. Take a big breath. Round off handspring, double tuck. Good landing, nice and solid. Gives the judges a little smile here.
You got to play the judges too, especially in this rotation, don't you?
Oh yeah, floor is all about personality, and that's one really unique thing about it is each girl can make their routine their own. And it's all about selling the judges. I'm a firm believer. Smiling, giving a wink gets you a little extra points.
Eastern, Georgie Slack.
Very, very nice. Yurchenko full. Awesome height there. And that's one thing the judges are really looking for, that you get a good block and you get your chest and your toes up above the table.
Back to the floor, taking a look, and again, I believe this is Claire Wood.
Yep, getting in for her second pass. Here's her double salto, layout front full, and nice landing. A little low, a little bend of the knees, but she saved it and covered it well.
I want to ask you about cover-ups as this meet continues, and basically they happen on probably at least 2 for sure of the rotations.
Yeah, definitely playing with their teammates a little bit on the sideline, but cover-ups, I think that's something that you learn in practice. You learn to adjust and adapt as you get going, and you learn how your body is and how the air awareness is and what you can do to change and fix something. So nice straddle back on bars there. You don't see that often. Usually people do bails or pack saltos. There goes Jalen with the Yurchenko full. Nice little step, very, very good.
And that should complete the vault portion.
Yep, and Jalen was exhibition, and you know, exhibition is an awesome spot, especially for someone who hasn't maybe competed that event. It gets them the experience, and it's just like a meet, and really in lineup, but it just shows that you're super close to edging your way into lineup. Hopefully she can get that next week.
Well, when you talk about edging your way into the lineup, talk a little bit about the scoring change this year, because you don't get to toss the low score. Everything's being counted this season. Do you like that change?
I think it is good. I think there's definitely pros and cons, but just like how NQS scoring has changed as well, you are now counting every single meet of your season. And so we always talk about when I was on the team of every single meet counts, even though previously you were able to drop a few meets. But now for real, every meet counts. And it's good to have that mindset, but it's hard to shift. It's definitely hard to really have that mindset of, yep, you don't really have that room to mess up or that margin of error.
When you take a look at Coach Minnesota, as this is going to be Neihart, the freshman,
yeah,
very powerful.
Yurchenko tuck full, a little bit crooked, but landed on her feet. Once again, just good experience. There's your second exhibition. As we go on over to bars, good cast handstand, saved that. Toe hand straight into her bail.
This is Maria King.
Hopefully she can get this handstand all the way up. There it is. Getting ready for her dismount here. Nice double layout. Small hop, but good finish.
Wow.
That was awesome. Looks like a good first rotation.
That was Brooks, according to the signal there. So maybe they had a change in the rotation, or we might have been behind, but that was Brooks. As we go back to the floor.
Yeah, she just did a nice double full, and that's a super hard skill to get around and to compete. It's an E level, which is your highest level of difficulty here. Second pass, round off 1.5 front layout. Beautiful, dances right out of it. And you talk about cover-ups, that is one way that you can cover up something, maybe a landing, dance right out of it. It kind of just shows control, that you're not bobbling all over the place. Beautiful leaps.
We don't have an official roster for Brockport, but Claire Wood, if she's 5 foot, she is standing straight tall.
Yep, here she goes.
Final tumbling pass.
Front rooting, nicely done. Controlled landing. Now she can kind of take a breath. She hit her routine and dance, have some fun till the end.
And I stand corrected. This is not Wood. This is Emma Brookins for Brockport.
Nice finish there.
Catting with her teammates.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome to have your teammates standing, cheering. And I remember I always look to my teammates, and we kind of have this little eye contact. You can always look to them, and even in the middle of the routine, give a little nod. And it's that confidence booster, that reassurance that you know you got this. You're confident in your routines. Your team's behind you. They're supporting you. And it's always good to see them cheering and supporting you.
All right, if our rotations are correct, this is going to be J-Marie Saravia up next on the floor for Brockport. And there you take a look at the Brockport coach, Dr. Renee Liss. She said, we will go anywhere, anytime. We may be D3, but she goes, it doesn't matter to us. We want to compete against the best.
Yeah, that's something I love. And I think that's such good experience, being in this kind of environment, feeling all the energy, especially a tri-meet like this. Lots of yelling, lots of cheering. It's just good experience. We've got a 9-7 from one judge on floor. I can't see the other judge. Hopefully they'll flash it here in a minute.
They're walking the runway here, the Eastern coaches, styling and covered in chalk at the same time.
I don't think you can ever get through a meet without covered in chalk.
I sent you a text last week. I said, do you miss being heavily taped, covered in chalk, and running around barefoot in the cold arena? And you said definitely.
Definitely miss it. I think I still have some chalk engraved in my clothes. It's hard to ever get away from.
Sassy open for this floor routine.
Here she goes, first tumbling pass. Front double full again. A little step sideways on the landing, but she covered it well. You see she's tumbling onto this mat, and it's probably just to save her ankles, her knees. Gives a little cushion. Nice smile to the judges.
Deliberate with her choreography here.
Yeah.
It's got to fit your personality, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. And I think one thing, they usually, gymnasts help choreograph their routines as well. So it's not just something that coaches say, here you go, do this. So it's a little personal to them too. They have some input. Because she goes round off with half, 1.5. That's something you don't see very often, but she nailed it. Big leaps, feet got all the way around and we're together. Sassy little finish. Looks like she got a lot of personality.
She does. And she's showing it right now. And of course, we rock at the end. Of course, for the Eagles, there was always a segment in everybody's floor routine where EMU was chanted.
Yeah, you'll see it later today. That was always something fun. Once everyone got their new routines finished at the beginning. During preseason, it was kind of a trial and error of where it fits best. And it seems like a lot of teams have somewhere that they kind of do their own cheer, fit it into each person's routine.
We may have been one off. I'm gonna go with our monitor now. Emma Brookins has just been scored a 9.675. J-Marie Saravia and Kiera Hockman, who's going to be in 3 rotations today for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, she had an awesome week last week. I'm excited to see if she can do the same thing. Just like with your team, as your team goes through each meet of the year, it's about building momentum, even within a single meet, building momentum event to event. Same thing with all around and even a couple events. As you get more comfortable, you build momentum as the season goes on.
We go to the bars for Northern Illinois. This will be the second and final exhibition. Makeda Brown.
Nice release and good pass handstand straight into her bail. Little leg separation was very nice. Gearing up for her dismount, and she get this handstand. Nice.
Hold.
Blind full straight into her double tuck. Little hop backwards, but that was a really solid routine. Judges are looking for those handstands and those stuck landings. Usually you get a 10-degree little window that judges look for. Ideally, they'd like you to be right on top of the bar, but they give you a little bit of a grace.
As we wait for the score for J-Marie Saravia, Kiera Hockman.
She's gearing up for her first pass here. Round off double tuck.
She saved it.
Yep, little lift of her front foot. But it's interesting, you know, some people don't love back handspring. Some people find more power straight out of a round off, and it seems like she's one of those gymnasts. beautiful leaps, full 180 there.
And we're now being shown Saravia's score on the floor, a 9.80.
Awesome.
So we'll see if the anchor here for the Golden Eagles and Hockman can do her one better.
Yeah, 9.8 is their highest of the rotation so far. Second pass, double salto, full front layout, beautiful. You know, I love to see that her second layout there got higher than her front full. That's something the judges look for, just to make sure you're building momentum, building height. Nice front series there.
How difficult is that, though? Because your legs have got to be just a little jello-y toward the tail end of a routine.
Oh,
okay?
Definitely. Definitely a little jello-y, but it's all about building endurance. And we do a lot of training and a lot of endurance training preseason to make sure you're strong and you can sustain. Nice, nice finish. Held it for those 2 seconds.
Little pirouette.
A big
Absolutely.
hug there.
So we are through the first rotation. I don't believe we have any exhibitions for Brockport on the floor.
What do you think?
Nope.
Do you think that was higher than a 9.8? I think it might have been.
We'll wait and see. If you are right, I want to get some lottery numbers from you before we get out of here today.
All right.
So everybody through the first rotation. You got your, basically your wind out. You've got your legs underneath you now. At what point do you really start to raise your level of intensity from this point on?
Yeah, I think that differs between team and between each event. I think each event has their own energy level. I think it's definitely good to get a first event underway. You feel a little bit more confident.
Are there some more than others that you were looking forward to?
Me
when you talk about
personally,
rotations?
I liked floor. I liked floor.
Okay.
I liked bars on some days. If we're having a good day, but no, I did like bars.
The honesty comes out.
And honestly, for me personally, when I was here at Eastern, I wanted to compete. I wanted to make a difference and contribute, and that was my goal. Just want to help the team out.
So as everybody gets set for the second rotation, we're going to catch our breath. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, don't you go anywhere. We've got more of the second annual Golden Girls Invitational live from the George Gervin Game Above Center on the campus of Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan hosting this afternoon's Golden Girls Invitational is brought to you by, and you get a good look from the upper deck at the George Gervin Game Above Center. We're through the first rotation. Brockport on the floor, Eastern on the vault, and Northern Illinois on the bars as we will switch to the second rotation. Eastern will move to the bars, Brockport on the vault, and Northern Illinois on the beams. Let's take a look at some of the highlights through the first rotation. Brett Balbanon alongside former Eagles standouts Anna Grace McCullough. Let's take a look. Let's start with Eastern on the vault. What stood out?
He pushed Jalen Yurchenko full. It was really, really nice. This was a good exhibition for them, a small step, but just get some experience under her belt.
On the bars for Northern Illinois.
Yeah, this was an awesome routine. Good full end dismount, slight hop backwards, but also really good, really solid routine for them.
And I believe this was the anchor for Brockport, Kiki Hockman.
Good front layout, front full. It's a great way to end their floor rotation with really solid routine.
She was a little sassy, wasn't she?
She is, yeah.
But that's what you want in that rotation.
Oh yeah, all personality comes out. That's your time to kind of let loose and have fun with it.
So here's my question for you, because you got different personalities, obviously, just like every person is different. Every athlete has a different personality. Did you have to be pulled out of your shell for the floor, or were you able to just cut loose?
I think so. I think you kind of had to be pulled out of your shell. Each person is different.
Sure.
Some people, you have super outgoing people, but my teammate Rye, she graduated last year. She was very quiet, and took her a little bit to come out of her shell to really express herself. And I think that's a learning experience in college.
Okay. Can you get comfortable? Does it take time, if it's not innate in you, to, for lack of a better term, become a different person? I
think you can definitely get comfortable, but it's all about finding your routine, finding where you feel comfortable, so you can have that confidence to come out of your shell and show some fun. Because college is very different than club. It's a learning curve for sure.
Take a look at Brockport finishing their warm-ups on the vaults. Northern Illinois going to arguably the most difficult of the rotations, the beam.
Yeah, there's Drake White warming up.
She appears to be okay.
Yeah, she hit a good routine last week. I'm excited to see what she can do today.
Matter of fact, let's see if I've got her beam score. Actually, it was Avery Riff, a freshman, who tied for first at Kent State last week with a 9.8.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And on the beam for the Huskies, she'll be going second behind Samantha Nickel. So that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what she has. She does an interesting series that you don't see often. This is a side aerial connected. So usually you see a handspring layout. That's kind of your normal go-to, but we'll see if she can hit it today. She got it last week.
Let's take a look at the results through the first rotation. Everybody giving a pretty good accounting of themselves. Dunwoody and Landry. Look at that. That is what you might call pack running for a cross-country team. But look at that. The top three scores dead even. Cantu with a 9.7. Are you a little surprised at Abby Brushwood, or did she pay the penalty for going first in your opinion?
I think they're usually a little bit harder on the first competitor.
Why? If a ball is a 9.8, why be harder on that, in your opinion?
I wish I knew. I wish I had that answer. But I mean, I think that just goes to show that you've really got to have a strong competitor as your first person go up.
Well, you said, did Kiki Hockman have better than a 9.75 in her? She must have heard you.
I know.
Because she stepped up with a 9.8, and really, those are some pretty good looking scores for Brockport.
Those are awesome. A good, solid first event.
Of course, Hockman and Saravia were the last two to go on floor. As the buzzer sounds, and here we take a look at the uneven bars. And again, Jacqueline Patterson not showing up. Hansen with a 9.75, Borkin with a 9.65, pair of them. Brooks, Rip, and Mariah King.
Yeah, scores look a little low on bars, but hopefully they can come to beam. They can settle in and really have a good beam rotation.
Beam is incredibly difficult. Is there any question that it's how much more difficult than the other three? Everybody says it's the most difficult, but on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being like ridiculously, incredibly, almost impossible, how much more is beam than the rest of the rotations?
Yeah, I think the most difficult part is finding that balance of being aggressive yet being calm, and no pun intended. I just realized I said that.
You did.
But having that calm nature, but also being aggressive, because it's very easy when you're out there on the competition floor to hold back a little bit because you want to stay on the beam. But it's kind of a learned nature to be aggressive yet be calm, stay focused, and stay on the balance beam. Looks like Jackie already went.
Jacqueline Patterson was leading off Eastern for the bars. Don't know if we've got a chance, or maybe if our cameras caught that. We'll see a replay. Nope. Okay. And there's Coach O. I guess we will get a look at it here. So break her down for us.
Yeah, Jackie's gonna do a shaposh here, out of her toe hand straight into a pack salto, and it's beautiful, or a bail, I'm sorry, straight to handstand. She's gearing up for her dismount, blindfold double tuck. From what I caught from it, it looked like a good dismount, a little bit short on that blindfold. We didn't catch it, and a little short on her dismount. But that's all right, you know, you got the rest. The good thing about that is you can drop one score, and so the rest just got to count.
So now we will go to beam for Northern Illinois, and this will be Samantha Nickel. And we're seeing a split screen, Brockport on the vault.
A very nice souk tuck full. That's another one of those side entry vaults that you don't see very often.
That was Shannon Gibbs for Brockport as we go back to the beam.
Here she goes, she's gearing up for her series. She's gonna do a back handspring, back layout. Nice, very solid. Right down the beam. For me, my series was the hardest part about it. So maybe she could take a breath, settle in, and just finish the rest of her routine strong.
Focusing as she finishes.
Back handspring, gainer full, little step, but a really, really nice finish.
Solid start.
Definitely. There's Janae on bars. Bail to handstand. Gearing up for her dismount. Handstand all the way up, very nice. Janae does a double layout here. Small step, that was awesome. Good comeback after a fall, and I think that's super hard to be the person to go after a fall, but it's just kind of turning inwards, going back to your practice and knowing you have the confidence to hit it.
Janae Daniel, second through the bar rotation. Let's go back to vault. And for Brockport, this is going to be J-Marie Saravia.
Here she goes, front entry to a double front. That's awesome. That was a very solid vault, very clean. Not much deduction there. She had a little step on her landing, but had nice height coming off the table.
So 2 through the vault for Brockport, and up next on the bars for Northern Illinois. This should be Avery Riff, the young freshman. She tied for first last week at Kent State with a 9.8.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what she has. She's gonna do her aerial for her series. Pretty unique series there.
Trying to keep herself psyched up. As an athlete, how do you handle this downtime? You're ready to go, and you still gotta wait.
Yeah, I think it's about taking some few deep breaths, just kind of going, calming your mind, calming your body.
We'll go back to the bars.
Yeah, Gwen, awesome. Jaeger connected to a bail. A little short on her handstand. Here we go, double layout. Stuff the landing. Nice,
we see
nice
you, Cantu.
work.
We see you.
Awesome job for Gwen. I know that makes her feel good. She wasn't in the bar lineup last week, so it's awesome that she made her way in. Nice vault over there, Yurchenko tuck full. Here goes Avery Riff on beam. Aerial straight into an aerial. You know, she didn't get that connection. She's gonna dance out of it and try again. You can do up to 3 of 1 skill. See if she can get it this time. Keep moving. Aerial round off, here we go. I don't think that was planned, but she was off and she made that adjustment to stay on the beam, and that's what's most important.
You talked about covering.
Right, that was one right there. Big switch sweep into a pike jump, straight into a pike 3/4. That was very nice.
You heard Analia Solario.
Big gainer dismount, nice finish for NIU. That'll be a pretty solid score for them.
Just a freshman. She owned it.
She did.
Let's go back to vaults. And I believe up next here, this is Kalisa Nissen. Or is this Emma Langdon? Excuse me. Melissa's up next. We won't shortchange Emma Langdon.
Here you go, good run, round off entry. She's gonna do a half, made it to her feet. There's another one of those blind landings. That was a really solid vault. Little step back, but she made it work.
Now over to the bars and Analia Solorio.
Now she's gonna do toe hand, straight into a bail to handstand. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful work. See if she can get this next one here. Wow. Hitting all her handstands. Just her dismount next. Little step forward, but good fight.
All in all, pretty solid.
Yes. That'll be a good score. That step is probably going to be her biggest deduction there. And as the season goes on, you get more comfortable with your landings, and that's what you really focus in on. Because when it comes down to MAC championships, conference championships, that's what can make or break the entire meet.
10th here, a 10th there.
Right.
But you see the sophomore, and fair to say, part of the future of this Eastern Michigan program.
Oh, yeah.
Solorio from Littleton, Colorado. Going to be seeing her face and her talent for the next couple seasons. All right, up next on the beam, we don't have a score for Rip yet, so we'll go back to vault. And now this should be Kalisa Nissen.
You know, Yurchenko full, great height, small little hop. That was beautiful for them. That'll be a really, really nice score. Yurchenko full starts from a 9.95. So not all the way from a 10, but still going to be a pretty solid score to add into their total.
I was going to say you would have to add a double there to get to a 10.
Yes, well, they recently changed all the scores, devaluing a few things.
What leads to that in your opinion?
I think
challenge the athletes?
Challenge, and as the sport evolves, I mean, I think people are doing harder and harder skills. So these skills that are difficult for our level might not be as difficult for other people, and I think just changing, the sport's always evolving, so making sure to keep it interesting.
Back to the bars. Let's see. I believe this is Keely Kohler.
Yep, we've got Keely. She has beautiful lines all the way from her hands on the bar to her toe point. Nice handstand. She's going to do a shapash here. She's going to make it work. Taking one extra swing straight into a bail. It's going to break the connection. It's going to be a little deduction there, but she stayed on the bar. Good handstand. That's what they're looking for. Double layout coming up. Little chest down, step forward, but good fight all the way through. You see the look on her face. She might be a little disappointed, but she fought all the way through it, and that's what's most important.
Back to the vault.
Yurchenko layout, good little hop back.
There's Kiki Hockman. We're going to see her in 3 of the 4 rotations this afternoon.
It looks like that was Gracie Weaver on vault.
All right, they took them out of order, or I missed one, so my bad.
Kiki Hockman had a 9.825 with her Yurchenko full. That's awesome. It's a really good score for them.
And they'll celebrate right in front of us, so let's ask them. Let's get autographs. How about that? Let's go back to the beam.
Yeah, we've got Jocelyn Harback here. She's a senior. She's been a good competitor all 4 years here. Gearing up for her series. She's going to do back handspring layout. A triple series, super difficult, starting all the way at the edge. There's 1, there's 2. Straight on a little wobble.
Almost.
That's all right. Taking a breath before she finishes here.
Well, she didn't take much of one, though, did she?
I know. Some people like to take a little bit longer. You only have 30 seconds, I believe, before you need to get back on and finish your routine. Little wobble,
Strong
she's making
toes.
it work, yeah. Here she goes, getting ready for her dismount. Round off 1.5, nice stick. Here goes Kyrie on bars, beautiful piked Jaeger, holding her handstand into a pack salto. Kyrie's gonna do a pretty unique dismount. She's gonna do a toe front with a half turn, good. Little hop, that was beautiful. Good finish for them on bars.
Kyrie Lowe looking strong to finish up the bars.
I know she's happy about that one. I love the new little cheers they've added this year.
We'll wait and see. I still have Jalen down as an exhibition on the bars, or is that correct?
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
It looks like she's chalking up and getting ready to go. Jalen competed a little bit last year. Only a sophomore, so she's still got a lot of time to make it into lineup.
A little bit of a delay over on the beam.
Katie giving Jalen a good pep talk. Katie gives the best pep talks. Always something to calm you down, calm your nerves, but also it's different for each person. Some people don't like to be pumped up. They like to talk about anything other than gymnastics, other than what they're about to do.
What were you?
Oh, geez. I think I needed to be pumped up.
Okay.
I need someone to tell me I was good and rely on my training. Katie could do that. Because she goes over the bar. I know Kim loves that mount. Cast handstand, blind, full into a ginger here. Good. Awesome feet together. It's easy to let your feet separate on that release move. She's gonna do a hip squat on, straight into a dismount here. Building momentum with her giants. A little step forward, but good routine for Jalen. You know, each routine just builds confidence, each routine she does.
Part of that too, there's no forgiveness in the bars, is there?
No, not much. And that's one thing I struggled with, just letting it swing. Some people have the great ability to just let their bodies swing, and some people try and muscle it all the way through. So it's something you gotta learn and get used to.
So we will go back to the beam as there's been a little bit of a delay. Everybody else is
Handspring layout, and she fights for it, stays on. A little bend at the hips. It's gonna be a little deduction. But she continues on. front tuck. Oh, she was just a little off as she punched. Front tuck is a super, super hard skill. You have to be directly on the beam, hips, shoulders, everything.
And plus you lose sight of the beam. Where do you pick it up? How do you work through that?
I think as you come over top, right as you're about to land, some people like to look at the end of the beam. Some people look at the end of the mat. Their coach is down at the end of the mat. Some people like to spot all the way back there, but she finished strong with her dismount.
So still a few more to go here for Northern Illinois on the beam, as there's been a bit of a delay. We are in the second rotation. And right now, if you're Eastern and you're Brockport, what do you do to kind of keep your mind occupied, stay warm? So
yeah, the floor is open, so I think the floor is always a great place to go bounce around, maybe do some cartwheels if you're getting ready. I know Brockport's about to go to bars, so they might head over there, do some little punch handstands on the mat. They can touch the equipment, they just can't get on the equipment. So maybe get their shoulders stretched out, anything you can do to stay warm.
How much do you feel it? Again, I joked with you earlier about running around a cold arena barefoot, but what do you do to try and stay loose, keep those muscles basically engaged?
I think just continuing to move. I think it's good because you're always cheering, you're always pumped up, and I think the adrenaline really helps. Just even if you're not the one competing, you're jumping around, cheering for your teammates, moving mats, doing what you can. And
you
so
had no problem jumping around.
No, I didn't. That was, I love jumping around. That was one thing. I was like, if I'm going to bring the energy, I'm going to do my best to give energy in everyone else, because it's so much more fun when you're amped up and you're...
I'm watching the judges on the beam with some hand signals, nonverbal communication with each other right now, but...
Yeah, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes one judge might see something on one side that the other side didn't see. Sometimes they'll get up and have a full meeting together, or they can just talk it out while they stay in their seats.
Well, the fall herder, you see a 9.22 being flashed up.
Yeah, but with the fall, that's still a pretty good score. Because if you think about adding that 5/10 back on, you're sitting at a 9.725, which is not a bad start. We've got Drake White on the beam here.
Good to see her recover, too. We were concerned for her after basically it just looked like one of her hands slipped on her dismount on the bars, and hands to the beam.
She saved it. Yeah, she saved it. Even though she touched the beam, it's going to be a little deduction. She stayed on the beam. She's going to keep going, try and finish strong here. Heading into her front side skill, aerial 2 feet. That is super, super difficult, and she did it with so much ease there. Leap series, cat leap into a switch side. Very nice, no wobble there. Taking a breath.
Sizing up the beam.
She does an inward turn, which is also unique. You don't see that very often. A little bit more difficult. But once again, does it with a lot of ease. All that's left is her dismount. She can do a round off 1.5. Slight hop, but very, very good finish after that little wobble.
So that just leaves Michaela Brown. They do have a couple of exhibitions listed for Northern on the beam. Good to see her rebound, though. How tough is that from a mental standpoint when basically she ate the mat coming off the bars? What do you do? How difficult is that to hit the reset button knowing you got 3 more rotations?
I think it is definitely something you learn. It's very easy to let it get in your brain, but I think for me, taking a breath and leaving bars at bars. It's a new event, it's a new routine. Bars has nothing to do with beam. So just settling in and focusing on the routine that you're in now, and then having your teammates help you. I know I always love the pep talk of someone to grab you by the shoulders and say, hey, look, leave it behind, new event, stay where your feet are.
Kick it to the curb. So
right, exactly. But it's hard. It's definitely something you got to learn, and that's what your team is. I think the biggest transition from club to college is that team aspect. Even though it still is an individual sport, you're working more as a team together.
Brockport mugging for the cameras. They see themselves up on the Jumbotron.
Yeah. Being silly, dance moves, that always keeps you loose, keeps you warm.
Trying to think of some of your former teammates. Bailey Vanderbeek was never shy around the camera.
Oh, never. Maylee is a hoot. She's always one to bring the energy, and you could always rely on Maylee to have a smile on her face and be positive. And she was the one that was, hey, leave it at the event, new event, let's do it.
So here's Michaela Brown getting ready, waiting for the go ahead, and now she's got it.
Yeah, Michaela's got a really unique series as well. She's going to do a standing layout, step out here. See if she can get that one skill at a time through this routine. Here she goes, preparing herself as she steps up. Big jump through her legs. Layout, step out, right on the beam. Wow. That was beautiful. Legs were straight all the way through, toes were pointed. She didn't guess that one bit.
She's a picture of concentration right
now,
isn't she?
You can see her eyes never leave the end of the beam, and I think that's really important, knowing where your body is, knowing your point of focus. Nice full turn. Full turn might be the simplest skill in your routine, but sometimes is where it gives people the most trouble. Nice switch side there. It's been really solid so far. She's only got her dismount left. Round off 1.5. See if she can get the stick here. Spot the landing. Oh, and she fought for it.
She's anchoring for a reason.
Smile on her face.
As well she should.
And once again, that's a good comeback after a little bobble. That'll be a really good score for NIU to finish them out on beam.
You know when you nail them, though, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
As an athlete.
That's a great feeling. Nothing better than that feeling. Or winning a MAC championship. That's probably a better feeling, I'll say.
Well, I don't know if our GoPro's working, but the lady to my right here does have a little extra bling on her finger here.
I had to wear it.
It looks like it's been very nicely kept. So
it's not something I get to wear often. I don't really get to. There it is. Big Mac ring.
There we go. Right there.
Don't get to wear it often, but it's something that I love to wear. I love to show it around if I can.
Absolutely. That thing has 4-wheel drive, ladies and gentlemen. So in the snow, you need a ride home, she can help you with that. Speaking of Anna Grace, now I know she's poor boying it just a little bit, but we've got a little something prepared in your honor here.
Oh boy.
Don't leave me hanging, crew. And there we go.
Oh, goodness.
You probably just nailed a dismount there.
I did. That was probably sophomore year. I know that picture. That was when I got a 9.9 on bars. That was, talk about nailing a routine, no better feeling than that.
Well, the smile was always a 10. The routine was a 9.9. We're glad that you threw on a headset.
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
And there she is. All right, we're going back to Northern Illinois. We've got a couple of exhibitions on the beam. How long does it, I know each athlete's different, and in some cases, certain rotations just aren't for athletes. I won't mention specifics, but I talked with Coach Katie Minnesota at practice this week about some other athletes. How about this? Just one more rotation to be an all-arounder. It's just like, it's not in them. It's just not in them, so we won't pressure them to. But is there an average? How long does it take a gymnast to get used to the beam? It's incredibly hard.
It is, but I think at this college level, you've been doing gymnastics for all your life almost.
Sure.
And so it's one of those things that hopefully you've been used to it, but...
As a youngster, though, and obviously you can see the apparatus, and you've got the cables hooked up to you, because it's not normal to be able to go airborne, 2, 3, 4 times and land basically on a strip of wood that's shorter than the width of your foot.
Yeah, gosh. I mean, one good thing about beam, I will say, is you can start at low beam. You can start low, you can start with mats. That trains your mind, and I think it's different for everyone. You move through different levels. We have a low beam, medium beam, high beam, but it's building that confidence, and it's a mental game. It's all a mental game. Your body is capable, but you just gotta have a really strong mind to be able to do it.
Compared to the rest of the rotations here, I almost get the feel. As there you go, nailing the landing, and I know she's going to be a little upset with herself, but another chance to practice is another chance to improve. But I once had a former Olympic gymnast tell me beam was personal more than the other rotations, it was almost like you against the apparatus. Would you agree with that?
I think it is. I think that it is a very personal event. You have to find what makes you calmed, what makes you focused and stay at that center of the beam. Some people talk to themselves. Some people sing the song that's going on in the arena. It's really different for each person. Some people need to be focused on it in the beam at all times, can't think about anything else. So creating that sense for yourself.
Let's take a look at the vault results as Brockport finished up a while ago. And again, Kiki Hockman continuing to look strong. She had a 9.8 on the floor, a 9.825 on the vault.
Yeah, that's a super, super strong score.
Then a slew of Eastern Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Savannah is a freshman this year, and she's already in that vault and floor lineup, and I think it's super awesome. She's building her confidence. Here are the beam results. Good score for NIU. 9.725, Michaela Brown.
Tough apparatus.
It is tough.
Very difficult.
Now they can relax a little bit, go to floor, have some fun. Hopefully have a good rotation to bump their score up just a little bit.
Let's take a look at the bars. Kyrie Lowe right now sitting atop the perch at a 9.825.
Yeah, it's an awesome score for Kyrie.
What Cantu getting a late addition to the bars at 9.7. She maybe earned herself a spot in that rotation after
Definitely, definitely.
On the floor, basically it's Brockport's and nobody else's.
Yep,
They've been the only ones on that rotation so far.
Yeah, hopefully we see NIU on that leaderboard after this next rotation.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see how Kiki Hoffman finishes out her third and final apparatus, though, this afternoon. She's one event shy of the all-around. And she is not on bars. Otherwise, she is on... Take that back. Is she on bars?
No, it looks like she's on beam.
Yes. So that was it. Bars being the only one that she is not participating in. So we are waiting for our last exhibition for Northern Illinois on the beam. And the judges are going to have a powwow.
Yeah. Looks like it might have been something with start value. I don't know why. I didn't see much to take from that routine. It looked really solid to me. It could be start value. It could be one judge saw something on one side that the other.
You know what, though? In this situation, I know it's slowing down the tempo of the meet, but you would rather they get together, talk, and be correct, be accurate. Right.
Right. Because just like we said earlier, this year every score counts, every meet counts. So you want to make sure you have it right, because that ultimately could make or break your chance of making it to regionals and so on.
Talking with Coach Minnesota at practice earlier this week. And she talked about that. A situation, too, where they compete in the maximum number of meets. Some teams do not. So when you talk about margin for error being infinitesimally small, it's really forcing everybody to try and compete at the same amount. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yes, I think so. You see all these big teams who are getting higher scores and stuff like that, but I think this new rule, it might be a little difficult to transition into, but I think it's going to be really good in the end, because you do have to, the new rule is you count every single score, you drop the high and the low score, and then you average out the rest, and that's going to be your NQS, what they do the rankings on at the end of the season that determine if you go to NCAA regionals or not.
Now, Eastern doesn't have to worry about that because they always do 5 away meets. But some teams that I don't want to say have gotten by without doing that are really going to be pressured to now do a full schedule, right?
Right, correct. And now there is a little bit of debate about the neutral sites. Are they home? Are they away? And so that's another point that they're trying to figure out and trying to work through with these scores. But I think it'll be a good change once everyone kind of gets used to it and all the kinks get figured out. Whew, little wobble on that full turn. There it is.
Swivel the hips.
It'll get ya.
Samantha Bartlett wrapping up the beam for the Huskies.
Yeah, she looks pretty solid after having to wait a little bit while the judges figured out the last score.
Boy, she's thinking about it right now. Sometimes can you get in your own head?
A little bit, yeah.
She is focused.
Well, a few steps, she stayed on her feet. She fought for it. That's a good finish.
I love it. Absolutely. She knew it, but you know what? She stayed on her feet like you mentioned.
Yep.
Victory in itself.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Good finish for NIU.
So we are now through 2 rotations. You see scores for everybody up there. And right now, Eastern Michigan with a very slight lead. How about Brockport, though? Man, they have shown their mettle through the first 2 rotations here.
Yeah. Looking good. It's kind of neck and neck. I think Beam and Floor for Eastern are going to be really good. Floor is usually pretty solid. Beam, it's just a matter if they can stay focused, stay calm to hit those routines.
They did last week at BG.
They did.
They were
had
exceptional.
Fabulous meet. I'm excited to see Jackie. You know, she had a little bit of a mishap on bars, but she hit her beam routine last week, and she is very capable of hitting it again.
We're going to take a break as everybody gets set to switch to the 3rd rotation. Don't go anywhere. We're back with more from the George Gervin Game Above Center right after this. A lot going on. It's not your standard meet, as we've got the Golden Girls Invitational, the 2nd annual here at the George Gervin Game Above Center. We are through 2 rotations, so we welcome you back. Brent Balbinot alongside former Eagle standout Anna Grace McCullough. Take a look at the scores through the first 2 rotations. We've got everybody putting their best foot forward, but let's take a look at some of those 2nd rotation highlights and see what stands out. And let's start with the bars in Eastern.
Yeah, we've got a good double layout from Gwen. That was her first time this year in bar lineup. Good dismount from NIU.
Heavy riff.
Awesome Yurchenko full from Kiera Hockman. Unique series on beam. She crushed it and got the stick at the end of that routine. Fought for it, but she nailed it.
All smiles, so are teammates. Let's take a look at what's on the horizon. NIU, again, this is their swan song in the Mid-American Conference. They are home versus Ball State, then Wisconsin Lacrosse, Western Michigan, then they go on the road at Bowling Green, and then you talk about the Beauty and the Beast meet. Any idea what that is?
I do not, no.
That is a dual meet, wrestling and women's gymnastics on the same night.
I have heard of that, yes.
For Brockport, they have been road warriors. They are at the Cornell Quad Meet coming up at the end of this month. Take a look at Sirius, Ithaca, who they've already gone up against once, the Empire State Championship, and then always the sentimental Senior Day. And for the Eagles, on the road last week at BG, home today, the Air Force Quad, Wilberforce, that's home. That will be our next meet on broadcast in Central Michigan, at Ball State, and at Temple. So a drive to Philadelphia. All over.
I know. It's always fun to get to travel, whether you fly, whether you bus. It's fun to be with the team and just have those travel trips together.
What was a typical day for a road meet? Because I know most of the time, if it's like a lot of other sports, you can kind of become a couch potato just vegging out in your hotel room. Our coaches never wanted us to do that. We'd have breakfast. Sometimes we'd have breakfast as a team and leave the hotel. But they always wanted us to get out, stretch our legs, think. What was a typical road trip day for the gymnastics club?
Yeah, we'd usually, depending, if we were staying the night before, we would go the night before, maybe try and do dinner, something fun the night before, and then get up and usually have a team breakfast. And Katie's good about trying to get us to do something, whether it's just a team activity, a game down in the lobby, or getting out and doing something, whether going shopping, and or that was one that we always seemed to stop at the malls, do something. She was like, you have 2 hours, go. Be back here at whatever. And
the secret is now out. How many bags of swag did you always bring home after a road trip?
Gosh, I don't know. It kind of depended on the place. If it was good, I probably could have spent a good bit of money, but sometimes I just browsed, didn't purchase anything.
It sounds like my wife. It's just fun to look.
It is fun to look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You know what? That's interesting. Let me ask you to expand on another part of what you said there, because breakfast, dinner, obviously as high-performing Division I athletes, you're burning thousands of calories. But were you on a specific diet, or were you just entrusted to be smart with your choices at mealtime?
I think Katie trusted us. I mean, it's our own body, and at this point in college, we know our bodies best. We know what works for us, how to fuel properly. And so I think she trusted us and knew we had a handle on it.
There you see Gwen Cantu playing a little role of mom. Somebody is taking over for you.
I know.
You had the nickname Team Mom when you were part of the Eagle squad. But kind of joking, because obviously as baseball, we would get meal money. And quite often what would happen is some guys would pocket the 20, take 5, and go get fast food. And after a while, our coach was like, you know what, no more of that. If you're not going to put good food in you, we're going to have team meals. The women's gymnastics seems a bit more trustworthy then, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I think, and we go to a restaurant, and some people are gluten-free, just this, that, and the other, but Katie trusts us with we know our bodies best, we know how to fuel properly.
So what would a typical pre-meet meal the night before be for you? Heavy protein, I'm guessing?
Is usually a mix of everything, carbs, fats, and protein. You got to have it all to function and fuel properly.
Okay. And you still adhere to that, right?
I try to. It makes me feel good. And
ladies and gentlemen, she told me off the air she's up at 4:30 every morning to work out.
Usually.
Before she goes to class. Let's take a look at the lineups here as Eastern's going to be moving to the beam.
Yeah, there's Kaiten starting them off. She did a beautiful front tuck onto the beam. Super difficult. Now into her series handspring layout.
Nice save.
Nailed it. Kaiten is one of those people that can finesse, is the word we like to use, and cover it up very easily. Nice game on bars.
Brockport on the bars. This is Alexis Schulman.
Gearing up for her dismount on both bars and beam. Blindfold, double tuck. Kaiten gets the stick with the 1.5. That was an awesome lead-off routine, really solid. That'll be a really good score for them.
Brockport equally excited on the bars as Northern about to start the floor.
Avery Riff here. She's been in a couple of lineups today.
She's got that left hip heavily taped.
Yeah, she's going to do front handspring, double front full. Super awesome, clean, got the height. It's really easy with that front double full to get caught up, step sideways a little bit just because you're twisting so much, but she was right in the corner. Having fun with it.
As are the rest of her teammates. You basically, as teammates, learn everybody's routine, don't you?
Right. Usually there's a place in each person's routine where you have a little cheer, a little saying. For Eastern, you find that EMU in there somewhere. Now turn is not required on floor, but some people need it, add it just to have that extra skill, because you do have to have a certain number of skills in your routine. Working to get her jumps all the way around here.
Just looking at a freshman, ladies and gentlemen. Has presence of an upperclassman, doesn't she?
Definitely. And the fact that she's been in 3 events already today shows a lot of promise for the future years.
She's about to take a tumbling pass right into the living room.
Oh yeah, round off 1.5 front layout here. Very nice, a little bobble on that landing, but she finished strong. Very solid lead off. And she'll finish right in front of the judges, flashing a smile. Here we go on bars. She finished her release move into her bail.
This is Charlotte Raymond for Brockport.
She's got a beautiful toe point.
Oh,
she's going to do a swing half if she can handle it, and make it over. And she's going to have to take a break. You know, sometimes if you get out of that momentum, especially in that case with her swing half, she's got to be a little short, not make it all the way over so she can finish the skill.
And there you see in the lower box, Kiwi Kohler on the beam for Eastern.
Yeah, Keely, once again, has got beautiful lines, just like on bars. She's going to do a back handspring, 2-foot layout here. Nailed it. Very, very nice. A little hike down to the hips, but that was really good, really solid. Sissone into a switch half, right down the center of the beam. Blowing a little kiss to the judge. Just like on floor, sometimes it's fun to flirt with the judges. Maybe get some bonus points.
Did that work for you?
I don't know. I always tried it on floor. Who knows if it actually works? I think it does. But we'll see. I think the judges definitely enjoy to see you smile, have fun out there, show some personality. Keely taking her final breath before her dismount. Back handspring 1.5, another blind landing. She's gonna look straight for Sam at the end of the beam, and she gets the stuck. A little bend of the hips, but she fought for it. High fives all around. That was a really solid routine. They've got 2 down on beam.
Caitlin Childress scores. You see there a 9.8. That's what she led off last week on the beam.
Super good.
Pretty consistent. So back to the floor. This is Joycelyn Harbeck.
She's going to start here with a front tumbling pass. She's going to do a front Rui into a back tuck. She nailed it. Big smile at the end.
You go from a freshman in RIF to lead off this rotation to a senior. Strutting her stuff a bit.
Oh yeah, showing some sass, showing that personality that we're talking about. Big leaps. Wow, you get that straddle jump. Legs are above 180. That's what the judges are looking for. As well as getting your feet all the way together. Here she goes, second pass. She's going to do a front through to a double tuck. Super difficult. Step out, round off handspring, double pike. Wow. Beautiful second pass. And that's tough, too, to do your second pass. Usually you see your front throughs, your first pass, but
solid.
Shows a lot of strength, a lot of endurance. Should be happy about that.
Very strong performance by Joycelyn Harbeck as we're back to the beam. And here's the future, among others, for this Eastern program, Macy Neihart.
Yeah, Macy is a good, really all-around worker. I know she trains all 4 events. Right now we see her in beam. We also saw her today, a little bit earlier. Beautiful handspring layout.
Brockport over on the bars. This is Selena Satter.
Release move, Ginger almost got it. Touched her hands on the bar, just a little far away. Side aerial straight into a Sissone. She kept her arms moving. Hopefully the judges will give her that connection.
Stop that one.
No, she didn't. There's her jump connection. She didn't stop, but some judges, they want to see that immediate jump right away, but as long as you keep your arms moving, your feet don't move, usually they give it to you. Line pull double tuck on bars.
She nailed this dismount last week at Bowling Green.
Front full, little step, but good routine. Building that momentum, each routine gets more and more confident.
Well, they finished strong on the beam last week. And I know in talking with Coach Minnesota, they had a couple of uncharacteristic falls on the floor.
Yeah.
And they could have run away with it, but boy, they were focused on the beam to wrap up that meet.
Definitely. And I think that shows a lot about their confidence, their ability to rein it back in and finish strong. Their motto of this year is till the end.
Let's go back to the floor. This is Elena Wallace.
She's going to open up a huge double layout here. Lots of height. Wow. Stays in bounds, it looks like. Just like tennis, gymnastics, as long as you are on the line, you still count as in. But if you are over that line, that's a 1/10 deduction for every step you take. She looks like she stayed in though. Big smile there into her leaps. Switch side, Popa all the way around. Legs over 180, it was beautiful.
So for the casual fan watching right now, when you say legs over 180, break that down.
Yes, you have that split, that 180 straight line, 180 degrees. of a straight line. You want both legs to meet that straight line, whether it's a shroud jump, a split jump, that's what the judges are looking for. It's even better if it's over that 180 degrees. But once it starts to get a little smaller, you get those deductions.
Well, Northern has put 2 freshmen and a senior to open up the floor, and they have paid off.
Yeah.
So we go back to the beam for Eastern. This is Solorio.
Yeah, there's Jackie.
Nope,
she
this
was
is Jackie
just
Patterson,
off a little bit on her series handspring layout. She got to take a deep breath, focus back in to finish strong. Good jumps.
Jackie scored a 9.875 last week at
Beautiful.
Bowling Green.
Yeah, beautiful beam routine. Nice aerial. Jackie is someone who never holds back. She's very aggressive and has the potential to go 9.9 or higher on this event. But some days, you know, you're just off, and that's it.
Trying to land on a piece of wood that's only 4.5 inches wide.
Yeah, it's tough, but she finished strong. Beautiful dismount, small step backwards.
So for Brockton, the bars, and this should be Selena Sapp.
Looking good so far. She's gonna finish up with her dismount. Toe front half. Wow, a little chest on the landing, but it looked like she got the stick. I don't know if she moved her feet at all. It didn't look like it from this angle. Let's see again. A little bit short on that handstand. Yep, she got it. She held her finish for those 2 seconds, showing the judges she is in control. Her feet were not moving.
Tell you what, the D3 team is really giving a good accounting of themselves, aren't they? Goodness.
Awesome, awesome routine.
So a little bit of a breather here on all 3 rotations. Up next on the beam should be Analia Solorio for Eastern. On the floor for Northern, we're going to go there. This is Samantha Nickel.
Yeah, another senior. She's going to do 2 double salto front passes. I can relate to her. I was a front tumbler. I was a front twister. You kind of got to find what works for people. Front layout, front booty, very nice, very clean. Once again, landing on that mat just to save her ankles, protect her body a little bit.
Talk about the pounding these athletes put on their bodies.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can equate it to for a non-gymnast to even begin to understand just what it feels like to come down? And I know that floor has some spring to it, but it needs it.
Yeah, it does have a little spring, but it's not much. I mean, it's hard to find something to relate it to. We kind of joke around that after the first meet of the season, just to get it back into it, you kind of feel like you're getting hit by a bus. That's a
okay.
Your body is that sore after the first meet, but you get used to it a little bit as the season goes on. Ani is doing really good on beam over here.
Extremely.
Last pass on floor, front lay, front full. Control the landing. Very, very nice. Good jumps on beam.
Strong toes.
Oh, yeah.
Dug those things in.
You learn to grab the beam. Brockport is doing good over on bars. Ani's just got her dismount, I believe, left.
If she nails this, I'd love to see her score. This has been exceptional.
Round off 1.5. Nice, nice work. Dismount over on bars. And she stuck the landing. Lots of noise in this arena. Team's excited about both of those routines.
Understandably so.
Jackie with a 9.225. Once again with the fall, if you add those 5/10s back, she's at a 9.725, and that's a really good score. So she's capable of a lot. Just an off day.
So up next on the floor, it should be Michaela Brown for Northern Illinois. And I'm really going to be interested. Coach Minnesota coming over and giving a huge bear hug to Solorio.
Yeah.
I think they're both thinking a hefty score.
Oh, yeah. Once again, only a sophomore, so she's got a lot of time to stay in these lineups to compete here.
Nickel, they flashed the score, but I'm being screened out from the the board next to the judge. We'll rely on our monitor.
You'll see Michaela Brown here. She does a 3-pass floor routine. A lot of people now, as long as they have the difficulty, are moving to a 2-pass routine. And that's okay, that's been approved. As long as you have the difficulty, you have hard enough skills to get yourself to a 10-0 start value. So it's a little rare to see those 3-pass routines. It just takes a little bit more strength, a little bit more endurance.
Over on beam, Kyrie Lowe has started her routine.
Almost on the bar. She tipped her fingers. Nice series on beam for Kyrie.
Emma Brookins ate the mat. She appears to be okay, but
first tumbling pass here. She's gonna round off handspring double pike. A little bounce. She stayed in bounds. Good aerial to a straddle jump for Kyrie. Looking solid. Leaping right in front of the judges. Dancing straight into the corner for her second pass. Taking a big breath, and Kyrie fights for the landing. Nice work. Round off 1.5 front layout. Controlled landing on floor. She's got one more tumbling pass to go. Very nice double layout on bars.
Should be Emma Brookins, if I'm not mistaken, finishing up her bar routine, but woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Strong 9.775 for Ani on beam. One more pass for Michaela Brown. She's gonna do a double tuck. Round off back handspring, see if she can get the landing. Wow,
oh, yes,
that
did.
was good. Chest was up, controlled landing. Finishing strong, that little husky sign. She should be real happy about that.
All right, we're moving our way through this, and what I like too is we've got all 3 rotations going at the same time. So ladies and gentlemen, you talk about her first broadcast, and she is doing more than yeoman's work. Up next on the beam, this should be Abby Brushwood.
Yeah, and Abby has been fighting to get in this beam lineup. She's got super awesome beam work. She's always done vault and floor.
She will anchor floor today.
She will.
This is her first beam work of the season. She was not in this rotation last week at BG.
Correct. She's been working hard in the gym, really trying to become consistent. That's what this season's about. This time in season, it's about building consistency. Handspring layout, awesome. Straight down the beam.
She's
big
pleased with
smile.
herself. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Into her leap, switch leap, split jump. Big Jaeger straight into a bail over on bars. Big connection there.
This is, I believe, Leanna K. Brockport has a nice save by Abby.
Fights for it. Double layout over on bars. Team is happy about that one. Abby's gonna do a front full off the end of the beam for her dismount. Let's see if she can stick it. And she gets it. Wow, what a confidence booster for Abby. That was a fabulous routine.
You expect to see her in this rotation a bit more as the year goes along.
I think so, yeah.
Back to the floor. Michaela Brown, or actually
Drake White here, front through to a double tuck. Wow, little hop sideways, but she is happy about that. Showing some personality here. Big switch leap into, wow, another jump combo, making it all the way around. Into another tumbling pass here for Drake White. Gonna go round off, handspring, double pike. Wow, and sticks it cold. She should be happy about that routine. Teammates definitely are. It takes a lot of air awareness to come down from flipping in the air and then stick it cold, not move your feet at all.
Let's take a look at this last pass coming right into your living room.
If you watch her feet right here, she does not move.
No.
Just shows the judges she is in control. She is strong. That should be a really good score for her.
Should be. Got one more on the beam for Eastern Michigan. This will be an exhibition. I believe this is Kendall Landry.
Yeah, Kendall just transferred in this year from Minnesota. She had a great vault earlier today. She's going to do a really interesting mount, something you don't see very often. It's a candlestick mount. She's basically going to do a back handspring backflip towards the beam and catch it with her arms. It's a little hard to explain, but once you see, it'll make sense once you see.
Picture will be worth 1,000 words here. You see the junior.
Big jump and hold. There it is. That was beautiful. Talk about upper body strength, core strength, lots of control right there. Stepping right into her series. Back handspring, back layout, and she fights for it. Little bobble, but she stays on. Switch leap right into a split jump, into a split 3/4. Giving the judges a little smile. Beautiful full turn there. I believe all she has left is her dismount. First, she's going to do a forward roll. Right down the beam. There it is. It looks pretty simple, but those are not easy, let me tell you.
Now getting ready for her dismount.
Here we go, gainer full off the side, little hop, but a very strong routine for Kendall. First pass over here on floor, front double full. Stepping out with control, a little leg separation in the air.
An exhibition, Dawson Salih.
Nice full turn. Smiling at the judges. Right into her leaps. All the way around. Teammates are having fun with her as well. 9.75 for Drake White. It's a really solid score to finish him out.
So what are the judges looking for outside of tumbling passes when you get into the dance portion?
I think they're looking for artistry. They're looking, leaps are another big thing. If you can make your leaps that 180 degrees, you can turn all the way around, your feet are together, but then also that you can move with the beat of the music, start and finish on time, and just show that you're having fun. Very nice Rudy back tuck straddle jump to finish her out. But yeah, just you're having fun, you're enjoying yourself. They want you to enjoy it, but they also want to enjoy watching you. I think that's a big thing.
Now she puts her crown on as she finishes her routine. And that will finish up this rotation. Everybody will be going into their final one here as the second annual Golden Girls Invitational. Moving along at a pretty good clip. We're going to take a quick time out, catch our breath. And as Anna Grace McCullough was always prone to do, finish up strong. When we come back, don't go anywhere. It's a lot of chalk. We welcome you back for the fourth and final rotation. The second annual Golden Girls Invitational, Eastern Michigan, hosting Northern Illinois and Brockport out of New York. I'm Brent Balbinot. She is former Eagle standout Anna Grace McCullough in her broadcast debut.
Yes.
So far, the judges' scores aren't in on the all-around, but I think you've got a shot at a 10. Just so you know.
I hope so.
What has stood out to you the most? Anything in particular today?
I think all the teams are fighting really hard. I think there have been some mistakes, but I think it's more about how you come back from those mistakes. And I think that all teams are doing a really great job.
Well, and it's still early in the season.
Right.
So obviously you wouldn't expect everybody to be in mid-season or postseason form. But at the same time, what's the goal? If you hit exceptionally high or maybe surprise yourself, what's the key to maintaining that versus maybe downshifting a meter or two later? Or is it possible?
No, I think it's very doable to maintain. I think it's also about knowing what you did, what your body did, your mindset, and maintaining that mindset all throughout season so you can maintain and continue to improve, because now it's about building confidence here in this stage.
So let's say you continue to improve. That arc continues to go up and you peak at the right time. Is it common, or how often does it happen that maybe you might improve your level of difficulty or tweak something or add something, or you just want to nail it week in, week out and make sure you absolutely are hitting 100% come the end of the season?
Yeah, I think it's more about nailing it. It's pretty rare it's pretty rare to add something in mid-season unless it's something that you've been working on for a long time and you've been practicing it, but usually your goal is to maintain, to improve, to build your confidence each week so you can be at that peak performance when it comes conference championships.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the vault results as Eastern will move to the floor, Northern to the vaults, and Brockport to the beam. And there you see Kiki Hockman's 9.825 to open up this meet. Still standing atop of everybody else, Savannah Dunwoody. 9.775. As a matter of fact, you just see a pack of Eastern Michigan scores there. Let's go to the bars. Again, Kyrie Lowe with a 9.825, Elizabeth Ponson, and then Eastern Michigan really doing a good job of packing together as well. So what's that lead us to? Greg Steiner says the floor, of course. And this is where Eastern likes to feel that they are probably their strongest. You see Alana Wallace and Drake White, no surprise. Kiki Hockman's 9.8. And then the beam. Kate Childress. Analia Solorio. As a matter of fact, Kyrie Lowe will take a bow as well. Pleased with the scores?
Yeah, all really solid routines. Kaiten is making her way into lineup. She didn't compete much last year, but she is really solid, and it looks like she will stay put this year.
Let's take a look at some of our rotation highlights. Third rotation. And we will start with Eastern on the beam.
Yeah, Kaylee had a great series. Stuck her dismount, fought for it.
Brockport on the bars.
Yeah, front half, stuck the landing. They were all super happy about that routine.
And then Northern on the floor.
Yeah, great double tuck there. Northern had a really good showing on floor. Looked like they were having fun. They all stayed in bounds, which is a huge win.
So there you take a look at Brockport as they will finish up on the most difficult of the apparatus on the beam. It'll be Livy Kay, who's their normal all-arounder, but coach just decided she needed a bit of a break this weekend. Liliana Kay.
Yeah, she's got another triple series on beam, back handspring,
Wow.
layout. That was great. Gearing up for a full turn. Taking a few breaths here. Beat jump into a split three-quarter. Little bend at the hips, but she made it around. Gainer off the end of the beam, stuck it, holds her finish. Great lead off, great start to their beam rotation.
Strong open. Speaking of opening on the floor, should be Kyrie Lowe for Eastern Michigan. Up next on the vaults, This is going to be Samantha Nickel for Northern Illinois. She's going to race right past us.
Yeah, open up with a Yurchenko full. Little step backwards, but good start for their vault rotation. Talk about opening up out of your shell.
Yep.
Kyrie is one that has, over the 4 years, really come out of her shell. Rudy back layout, big smile, all the facial expressions. I love Kyrie on floor. Watching her perform, unique skill there. Just like some girls have done a full turn, that's just something to add to her difficulty. Giving me a big smile. She'll end here with a double pike, taking a big breath. Katie in her corner.
Last minute instruction.
Here we go, round off handspring, double pike. Nice, nice, nice. Lots of facial expressions from Kyrie. Having fun out there. That's a great opening routine for them. One more leap series.
Well, when you get the judge to smile,
that's a win.
Exactly.
That is a win. I'll say that. Here we go on vault. Yurchenko full. Very nice landing.
And it's Jocelyn Harbeck.
Yeah, great height off the vault. You really look for straight arms. Good block off the table.
Kyrie Lowe sizzles to open up the floor for Eastern Michigan. Brockport back on the beam.
Beautiful series.
This is Alexis Schulman. Heavy ankle brace on that left ankle.
Yeah.
How much extra of a challenge is that? Or is it at all?
Well, I think it depends. If it's a new thing, then it's probably a pretty big challenge. But if it's something that she's been wearing for a long time, she's probably used to it. It looks like it's covered in chalk, so it might be a pretty worn thing, and it might just be something that she needs to help with that support. Showing some personality on beam.
Dawn Sally is getting set for her next vault, or Northern Illinois' next vault, I should say.
Dismount here on beam, round off 1.5, step forward. That's a good second routine for Brockport.
Hands in the air, Dawson Sally is getting set to make her vault approach.
Another Yurchenko full here. Wow, very nice. Small, small hop. She's gonna dance to celebrate. A little leg separation in the air the judges might take, but that should be a really good score for them.
She had a 9.75 last week at Kent State, so a really strong vaulter.
Very solid.
We'll take another look at it.
Round off entry, good block off the table.
Great height.
Yeah, that looks really, really good.
All right, are you ready for this on the floor? Brianna Lucas has one of the most unique routines you are going to see.
She's saluted. She's going to take a breath before she enters, kind of get in the zone.
Sophomore out of Marietta, Georgia.
Now, Bria is one. If you watch her dance, she's going to finish every movement all the way through her fingertips. Leaps to start.
Of course, her choreography sets her up for her pass.
Yep, here she goes. First tumbling pass. Round off 1.5 front layout. Nice, nice opening pass.
And now she's on.
Here we go on vault. Yurchenko full. A little step sideways off the mat. It's going to be a deduction for her, but a very good body position in the air. Here we go. Bree struggled with this a little bit last week. She came just a little short on her double tuck, but see if she can get it this week.
Deep breath, picture concentration.
Here she goes, round off double tuck, pull all the way to the end.
Oh, and out of bounds.
That's all right. You know, the good thing about that, I will say, she landed one short, she over-rotated one. Now she's just got to find a good medium. Each meet is a learning experience, and she'll take this home with her, and she'll get it next week. She's close. I know she will.
Yep. And when she does, it's going to be something.
It's going to be fabulous. I know.
Back to the beam, and I believe this is Callie Sarsinski.
Front dismount off the side of the beam. Another unique one. Good finish for them. Just had a 9.7, which is a strong score as they move through this beam rotation.
Moving quickly through the vault. Up next, should have Drake White.
Another Yurchenko full, starting from a 9.95 here. Wow, that was very nice. Small hop, great form in the air. Not much to take.
Nope. It's the reason she's an all-arounder.
Oh, yeah.
Focusing back over onto the floor. And who have we got here? This should be Savannah Dunwoody.
Savannah Dunwoody, and she's a freshman. We saw her in vault, a really good Yurchenko full.
She gave a good showing of herself on the floor last week. She had a 9.6.
Yeah, and she is a front tumbler, another one of those, just like we saw Samantha Nickel on floor for NIU. She's going to do all front tumbling. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to see what she has to show.
Waiting for the score for Lucas. We'll go back over to the beam. Up next, this should be Amelia York. Score of a 9.4 coming up, I believe, for Sarsinski. So we'll go back to vault. This should be Alana Wallace.
Here we go, strong round off entry full. Wow, another great Yurchenko full. Not much to take on the landing. I love the NIU dances out of every single vault. Good celebration. Great handspring layout on beam, nice and solid. Did not second guess that at all.
You hear the music starting as Dunwoody into her first tumbling pass.
Gonna do a front handspring, double front.
Extra step.
Or double twist, there we go. Now she was right in the corner, big leaps, making it all the way around. Her feet were a little bit separated when she landed. That might be a small deduction, but it shouldn't be big. Nice front aerial on beam. It's unique to see a ponytail. You see a lot of girls with their hair in a bun. You don't see a ponytail very often. Front handspring Rudy, layout, step out. Nice, nice finish for Savannah.
Being a little playful.
Straddle jump to finish. She's coming to the end of her routine.
And there we go.
Katie is happy about that. The girls are happy about it. Still building this momentum.
Northern actually scratched their only exhibition on the vault, so they are done. Brockport's getting close, and on the floor you are about to see, again, I mentioned she's bathing in chalk now. She has stepped in, getting those toes as grippy as possible, but here comes Macy Nyhart. And if you want to see a strong tumbler, you're about to see one.
Yeah.
Incredible power.
And you know, Macy's, here we go on vault, looking at this replay. Yurchenko full, slight hop. But even as she hopped, her toes were pointed, her feet were together.
She looked happy with it.
Yeah. And she got a 9.8 on that. Really solid score. I love the NIU finish strong. Nothing less. They got that 9.575, but they're able to drop that, which is good. So then they're counting nothing less than a 9.7, 48.775, which is a good score to finish.
New York has finished, if I'm not mistaken. So they're working their way, a couple left to go on the beam. And I'm not sure what we're waiting for here. A 9.65 now being flashed for, I believe, Savannah Dunwoody's score. Well, that was just one judge, pardon me. So let's get the average. Meantime, Coach Minnesota dancing in front of us. Keeping herself loose.
Yeah.
I joked with her. I said, if we have a tie, the coaches will, and before I finish, she goes, have a dance-off.
Oh, yeah.
Because she said she is convinced she could win a dance-off.
Katie could 1,000% win a dance-off. In practice, she is always dancing, always having fun. It helps keep us loose.
So this should be Alyssa Strain on the beam, but there you take a look in the upper box. The freshman, Macy Nyhart. When I talked with Coach Minnesota about her routine earlier this week, she said, we wanted to pick choreography that fit her.
Yeah. She's very graceful. Run up handspring, double tuck. Wow, little lift to the foot, but stayed in bounds. That was a huge tumbling pass. Macy's a little bit taller.
Exactly.
So it's a little bit harder to get everything around sometimes, but she did it with so much ease. Good jump series over on beam. It's looking like a solid routine. Here we go, second pass for Macy. Front layout, front Rudy. A little chest at the end, but Katie and the team is happy about that.
Danced out of that a little bit. Was that a potential cover-up there in your opinion?
Maybe a little bit, but she did it with control. And I don't think the judges, they shouldn't have caught on.
Nope.
Beautiful leaps. She's got one more pass here. Strong finish over on beam for Brockport.
Nyhart about to come into your living room.
Here we go, round off, 1.5, front layout, beautiful. Lots of control. Once again, her front layout got higher than her 1.5, just what the judges are looking for. Beautiful finish for her.
Swan-like.
Oh, yeah.
Macy Nyhart, just a freshman. Looking forward to seeing what her collegiate career has in store in the Mid-American Conference.
Definitely.
We have one more. Yep, they have scratched their exhibition on beam, so we've got one more, and I believe Kiki Hoffman is going to anchor the beam for Brockport.
Yeah, and she's got that triple series, back handspring, layout, layout, that she nailed last week. Solid 9.8, I believe. Yeah, 9.8 last week on beam. Let's see if she can do it again. And we've got Priya coming up on floor. Priya is a little jelly bean, little jumping jelly bean. She got so much energy. She is so fun to watch and engaging.
You talk about coming out of your shell, because she was not that way when she first arrived on campus. And I remember Coach Minnesota saying, you know, do we nudge her a little bit to try and get her going? And then at some point in time, as they said, the switch just flipped.
It did. It did. And now she is so fun to watch. Here we go on beam. Triple series. She's going to go handspring, layout, layout. Starting at the very edge. 1, 2, 3, straight on. That was amazing. Little smile to the judges as she continues on. Straight into a switch leap, split jump. No doubt there. And here we go on floor with Priya.
Priya Carley, she's listed, I believe, at 4'11", and she is a stick of dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
And watch the face. I mean, you talk about a showgirl.
Yeah, she is going to sell it to the judges.
Shushes her team. First tumbling pass.
Front layout, front Rudy. Nice work. Smiling at the judges. Great finish for Brockport over on beam. That'll be a really good score for them. There's that EMU. She's dancing right to the edge. And they do a round off tuck into a stag and a straddle jump. Once again, just those skills that she needs to get all her bonus. Priya's another front tumbler, so you're going to see all front tumbling passes from her.
So walk us through your routine. When you're putting the choreography together, how are you helping to maybe catch your second breath or your wind, so to speak, in between tumbling passes?
Yeah, I think it's all about spacing and making sure that you show it off, show when you can show it off, but maybe picking a few more low-key dance moves when you need to catch your breath.
Sure, it's strategic.
Yes. Double full, wow, that was beautiful. She is happy, Katie is happy. Straight into the corner, big leaps. Here she goes. Now she can have fun, she can relax a little bit. Grand finish, that was fabulous.
It's worth walking through the turnstiles just to watch Priya Carly do the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I'm excited. Hopefully she gets a really good score for that. She deserves it.
She seems to be pleased with it, as she should be.
Big, big hugs from everyone.
We still got an anchor left to go because she's not the anchor this weekend.
Yeah,
Abby Brushwood.
Abby is a phenomenal vaulter and tumbler, and we saw her hit a great beam routine today. She made it to regionals last year. Had a phenomenal performance. Hopefully she won't be the only one making it to region, not the only one, but hopefully the team makes it to regionals this year. I think they're more than capable.
Preseason pick to finish third in the conference. At the same time, looking very strong through their first 2 weekends.
Yeah.
And there you take a look at the MASH unit of the injured Eagles. Ugh, so tough.
It's tough, but it's all about when you're injured, doing what you can, showing up for your team, being that supporter. Even though you can't contribute with your gymnastics, you can definitely contribute, being their biggest cheerleader.
Well, I joked with Brooke Maycroft earlier before the meet, and I'm like, next year? And she goes, yes. But I'm like, when she was finding ways to be involved last weekend, she did a lot of video. She sung and basically acted like she was at the club. So I kind of affectionately nicknamed her DJ Brooke.
Okay.
She goes, I'll take that. She goes, I'll absolutely take that.
That's funny. Yeah, it's
whatever
all about,
it takes.
Exactly. Whatever it takes, bring the energy, be that good teammate, that support system.
Speaking of energy, Abby Brushwood about to finish off this meet.
Yep, and she is a performer.
So right now I'm being told Eastern and NIU are tied. So no pressure, Abby Brushwood, but this performance will decide who wins.
She's got a hit. Front layout, front Rudy. A little step backwards, but she saved it, stayed in bounds. That'll be a 10th or 2, but she usually finishes strong. Dancing it out, taking a breath. She's gonna finish with a round off handspring double tuck here. Big jumps for Abby as she comes into the corner. This is the first time they've worn these new Leos.
Yep.
They're shiny, they're new, I love them.
You can see the concentration as she sets herself up for her tumbling pass. Deep breath.
Round off handspring double tuck, and she lands it. A little step forward, but she finishes strong for the Eagles. Nice work for her.
Okay.
As they close out this floor rotation.
Being told Abby Brushwood needs an 8-9 or a better for the Eagles to win the meet. And you tell me, but that certainly looked like it was better than an 8-9.
I think it was better than an 8-9. I think her biggest deduction is going to be that first pass.
Correct.
She took a step out of it. They might take as well for her last pass. She landed with her chest a little low and she stepped forward. They're usually looking for you to step backwards with control.
But to fall sub-9, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think she did it.
Yep.
We'll just wait and see.
Yes, we will. It's that new math. Scores being tabulated right now. But my goodness. What an afternoon. It's one thing to have a standard meet with just 2 teams going after each other. Tip of the cap to not only Northern Illinois, but my goodness, Brockport for a D3 school really has some talented gymnasts.
Yeah, they do. And I think it's good for them to get that experience and have that pressure on them because the diamonds are made.
The queen of analogies, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we got a 9.5 from one judge and 9.7 from another judge.
This is going to be easily an Eastern win.
Looking like it's going to be a 9.6. We'll wait and see.
Looking for Priya Carly with a 9.725. So again,
a little low for me. I was expecting a little bit higher from her. Yeah. I think it definitely was a little higher. It's just what the judges see. Back here behind the table, it sure looked a little higher.
We're just waiting for the final score of the final rotation, the final athlete, Abby Brushwood. But again, anything over an 8-9 is going to give Eastern the meet victory. And we are, unless something, well, you just saw both judges were above a 9-3 was it? So this is going to be an Eagle win. They're just waiting for it to officially be announced.
I think that's a real big confidence booster coming their home opener of this season.
Yep.
Taking away a win. That's just building momentum. They're going to get back in the gym. The girls are strong. They know what they need to work on, and there it is, a 9-6 for Abby.
9-6 is more than enough. And that is going to secure the win for Eastern to remain unbeaten at 2-0 in Mid-American Conference competition.
Awesome.
Speaking of coming down, there it is. It is in a 9-6, more than enough, and all 4 rotations now in the books. As you can see, Eastern wins. We're going to break it down for you when we come back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to put a big green and white bow on it when we return at the George Griffin Game Above Center right after this. Taking a deep breath, a little second wind, but what a tremendous afternoon here, the second annual Golden Girls Invitational. And the Eagles, you know what? It's almost Hollywood-esque, isn't it? It comes down to the final rotation, the final performance, and Abby Brushwood seals the deal for Eastern, now unbeaten in MAC play.
Right. Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I think it was a great performance for all teams. It's early in the season. There were some mistakes, but the girls know what happened and they know the meet. So all you can do is get back in the gym and work on your mistakes. This is the time to build consistency and build confidence so you can peak at the right time.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the final rotation results, and we've got some dandies for you. And let's start on vault with Northern Illinois.
Great Yurchenko full. They're happy about their vault rotation. Lots of celebrations.
If only you could score after you stick the landing.
I know.
On the
Here's
beam.
that triple series.
I believe that was Leanna Kay.
Kyrie on the floor. Great lead off for them. Starting off strong on this final event.
They started strong and they finished strong.
They did. Lots of sass, lots of personality there.
And we'll take a look at the scores. As you can see, the gymnast stretching out. And our all-around, and I know Drake White wishes she had the bars back, but just as important, she seems to have recovered. She's not injured, so best of luck to her moving forward. But today, it was Kyrie's world, and everybody was just kind of living it.
Yeah, it was a close meet. I mean, 38-6, 38-8-2-5. Kyrie had phenomenal bar rotation, a solid 9-8, and she can build from here. I know she's capable of a lot more.
Well, let's take a look at her all-around, shall we?
Beautiful beam series, not a doubt there. Her vault, she did a Yurchenko half, a little step backwards, but she saved it. She can definitely make up a few tens there. Awesome double pike as her second pass. Lots of facial expressions to the judges, to her teammates.
A benefit for her to lead that final rotation, in your opinion, or does it make a difference?
I think she's just a really strong competitor. Katie can rely on her, and she'll start that rotation off strong.
Let's take a look at the final vault results, and Kiki Hockman takes out Brockport's finest with a 9.825, followed by Wallace, Dunwoody, Landry, and Slack. On the bars, Kyrie Lowe, yes, Ponson, and then look at that, a slew. And how about Gwen Cantu, a late addition to this rotation?
Making it into the lineup. Gwen has worked super hard to come back from her elbow injury last year, and I know she's super happy to make it back in that lineup. She should be proud of herself.
On the floor, Kyrie Lowe, a 9.8. Alana Wallace, look at that, 9.8s all the way around. I feel like a dealer in Vegas. Everybody gets a 9.8. And for the beam, Kiki Hockman, seeing her name again.
7.5.
Wow. How about Kate Childress, though, with an excellent score?
Yep, another 9.8. Super solid, super consistent. I know they can rely on her as they go throughout the season.
And Analia Solorio, tip of the cap there, too, with a 9.775. I don't want to call her an anonymous voice in the chorus, but she is something to watch.
She is. She has built a lot of confidence. She's matured so much in the sport since she's been here, and I can't wait to see her continue to grow and do her gymnastics and kind of come out of her shell a little bit more.
All right, our Southern Belle has migrated north. She needs a couple days to reacclimate, but I can't tell you how much we appreciate you throwing on the headsets today.
Yes, I had so much fun. Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to it. Best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you so much.
That's going to do it for our broadcast here this afternoon. For Anna Grace McCullough and our entire ESPN crew doing more than yeoman's work, I'm Brent Balvanod saying so long from Ypsilanti, Michigan, where the Eagles win the 2nd annual Golden Girls Invitational. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.